All right, let's take a look at the top 10 DPS caster gear you can get from Molten Core. Whether you just turned level 60, or maybe you've already been raiding for a while, you went through BWL, soon to be ZG, and you're still looking to go back to Molten Core, there's still some items that are going to carry forward into future phases that I highly recommend that you want to get your butt back in here, get these items so you can be geared up, ready for AQ by the time it drops. But let's jump right into this one. So first off, let's talk about the different DPS caster set bonuses. Specifically, you're looking at the set for the Warlock and the set for the Mage. Now, overall, the set bonuses, you're never really going to get to the 8th set on the Warlock. Yes, it's good. Reduce the mana cost of the shadow spells, but you'll never get 8 pieces. You're going to want to mix and match. Now, for the Mages overall, the 3 set to give you an extra 18 damage, yeah, you'll probably get to that. And some of the pieces you want to mix and match, like the headpiece that's giving you that 1% hit. They do have some very nice raw stats built onto those, and it doesn't hurt to use the set bonuses, but I would not be using my soft reserves to be able to go after any of the set bonuses. So the first up item, Choker of Enlightenment. This one is a great necklace, not the best. This is an alternative, but this is still giving you the 10 intellect, 10 spirit, and 18 to your damage overall. This is off Lucifron at a 22% drop chance. So this will be good for Warlocks, Balanced Druids, and Mages overall. What you really want to go for is the Choker of the Firelord. Now this is going to be hard to get your hands on. This is one that carries forward into future phases. The 7 intellect, 34 overall damage. That is why every caster class is going to want this. The problem is even healers want this. So it's a high competition, but this is where I would be using my soft reserve. Looking at number 3, another big one. The Ring of Spellpower. 33 damage on a ring is massive. Another one that's going to carry into future phases. What's nice is it does have 4 bosses that drop it, but the drop chance is all very, very low. Every single caster class is going to want this. Now, Warlocks not as much because they'll get a different ring out of BWL, but this is still a good alternative for them. And another reason why I would soft reserve this and keep going back to MC. Next up, Telisman of Power. This trinket, to be able to boost your damage by 175 for 15 seconds and only have a short cooldown. It drops off 4 bosses, once again, low drop chances, but every single class is going to want this. It's best in slot for most classes outside of the Mage DPS, but this one is so great. Essentially, you could pop this, switch to a different trinket right before the pull starts, and for about 10 seconds worth, the first 10 seconds, you're able to just absolutely pump. Now, for super long fights, you might want to keep it on so you could proc it essentially twice. But this one will carry into future phases, so if you can get your hands on it, you'll be happy, and I would use a soft reserve on this one. Next up, we're taking a look at one of the belts, the Mana Igniting Core. Not only do you get the 16 intellect on there, but 25 spell power with a 1% crit. 4 chances to drop, obviously lower drop chances, but this is a great belt mainly for mages. This is something that's going to carry forward with them into future phases. The druids and the shamans are going to have different leather belts and mail belts that will be better overall, but not terrible for them. But if I was a mage, I would be using my soft reserve on this item. And warlocks do get a different belt that is going to be better for them. So really, mages, you're going to be the one that's really, really gunning after this one. A priest-specific staff, the Anthem. Now, this is the Benediction Anthem where they can switch between a healing staff or a damage staff. So you are going to be competing versus all priests to get this, your hands on it. But not only do you get the 22 stamina, which is great for like PvP, the 31 intellect, the 7 mana per 5 seconds. That's the huge part. Priests struggle with mana overall as shadow. So to get that 7 mana per 5 seconds is great. and then 69 shadow damage. That's huge. This is a little bit expensive to make and tougher to get your hands on, but this is something I would use my soft reserve to be able to get if I was a priest. Next up, Robe of Volatile Power. This one, once again, it's going to be best in slot for a lot of different classes and even a great alternative for pretty much every single caster class itself. So you are going to have a lot of competition. There are some other robes that are slightly less that you could craft instead of going this direction. That might be the better way to go. But if you didn't have the money, then I might soft reserve this because the 15 intellect and the 10 spirit is very nice. 2% crit, 23 spell damage. So those are some nice beefy stats. Like I said, there are better chests that you can essentially make for yourself if you are tailoring. But this one is very nice if you don't have the money to be able to craft those. Looking at the number 8 item on the list, the Sorceress Dagger. 20 damage overall with 17 intellect. The intellect is very nice, and this is 4 drop chances, low drop chances, of course. This is more just an alternative to one of the future ones we're about to talk about. So if you do get this, I wouldn't use my soft reserve on it, but I would definitely keep an eye out for it, and not a bad item overall to be able to get your hands on while you're waiting for the Mage Blade. This one is what everybody's after. The 12 intellect, 1% crit, and 40 damage. This is an amazing sword overall. Your holy paladins, your mages, and your warlocks are all going to be gunning for this one. Now, it is not best in slot going into future phases, but this is one that if you pick up, it will take you a while to eventually replace this one. The alternative to going with a sword in an offhand, and this one is off Golemag at 25% drop chance. The other alternative would be the Staff of Dominance. Now this one, 1% crit, 40 damage, but 37 intellect, 14 spirit. The raw stats are just massive. This is going to be a great alternative in phase 3 for pretty much every single caster class. So if you didn't want to have to get the offhand and the main hand, the Staff of Dominance, this would be one of the final soft reserves that I would use. Hopefully this video was helpful. If you're brand new, just getting into raiding, love to hear the experience. Did you get any of these items yet? Are you getting geared up to go into BWL? Even if you're in future phases, I'm sure you're still coming back to grab some of these little items that you might not be getting in BWL that are good supplemental items to give you a nice damage boost overall. But until next time, game on.